It is Saturday, February 6th, 2021, here at Hathaway Preserve at Ross Run by Acres Land Trust. And they're doing a creek stomp today. It's about 10 degrees Fahrenheit out right now. Due to COVID restrictions, instead of having us all stomp together at once, they're sending us out into groups with who you came with. So, you know, a lot of small things. So we're gonna go here and get on the creek. There's a pretty good chance it's slick today, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try not to fall. Try not to fall on my butt. Try not to fall through the creek. They do this twice a year, and part of that's because they don't fully own the creek. So we have to go into the neighbor's land, and being good neighbors, you don't want to necessarily just go into their land. So they get permission twice a year to have this creek stomp. So I'd guess in most places the creek is probably no more than 2 or 3 inches deep. I'm gonna show off what I'm wearing. I'm wearing some muck boots, and then I've got some really cheap spikes on there that you might get to wear on your shoes when it's icy out. So problem with the cheap ones is they don't work very well, but they don't work too bad. Okay, so I'm going through the ice a little bit. Just went through the creek right here. Again, not a whole lot of water, so not a big deal. And I'm wearing rubber boots, so even if I go into the water, it's not a problem. So they do this twice a year, but this is actually the first time I've been able to make it. I usually have other things going on, and so it's kind of nice to make it here when everything's frozen over and it's not overly crowded. They could have, talking to Jason, the executive director, and he said they could have upwards of 80 people here when it's not in the pandemic, when the weather's nice for the late spring summer event. He said they'll often get up to 80 people showing up, so it's kind of nice to be here without all the crowd. Okay, gotta get around the tree. A little bit slushy here. This is definitely something I would not do unless I was wearing rubber boots with spikes on them. There's no doubt that if you were wearing even like waterproof hiking boots, you'd be getting wet, and cold and wet don't mix. And then because there is ice with water on top of the ice, it's slick. I'm going slow. Get through here. Got a downed tree, got to decide, do I want to go around or over? I'm going to try and go over it. Looks like I'm not the only one. So this area was at one point part of the Great Wabash Reef, most of which has eroded away, I believe, or is underground, been covered up by other. The most prominent feature that's still visible with the Wabash Reef is another acres property about, I don't know, 5 miles away, maybe 2-3 miles, or sorry, about 5 minutes away, maybe 10 minutes away, 2 or 3 miles. Hanging Rock, National Natural Landmark, another acres preserve. And that Hanging Rock is leftover of the Wabash Reef. So there's supposed to be other people, but so far I'm the only person on the creek that I see. Trying to walk a little closer to the edge, so I'm not in the middle. Better chance of not falling through. The ice is looking pretty thick today. Most spots. Obviously there's some spots where it's pretty thin. It's a little bit weird, little pile of snow. My guess is there's a piece of tree stuck in the ice there. And it's just a small piece, but it's enough to gather all the snow. So obviously you can see ice gets thin in some spots. Trying to not step on those spots. There are 2 waterfalls on this creek that are, you know, a couple feet high. I mean, there's a lot of these couple inch high waterfalls, but we'll get to a couple places. One of them is probably about 4 or 5 feet high. The other one is probably 15 feet, but it doesn't have as much flowing water, the 15 footer. Nice view of the ravine carved out here by Ross Run, name of the creek. Came out here probably 2015, 2014, somewhere around there. Similar snowy day. Took pictures. I was not wearing rubber boots that day, and I did fall in the creek that day. Very unpleasant. It was deep enough. I was in the pool beyond the waterfall, and it was deep enough that it went up over my boots, and the water rushed into my boots. That was very unpleasant. Looks like someone came down here in a four-wheeler. There's tire tracks. I've seen that a couple other times when I've been here. I wouldn't even call this a waterfall, but I guess right now you can see the ice there. That is usually pretty dry, except early in the spring, right after the snow starts melting. Otherwise, that's usually pretty dry, that creek, but I guess it's enough that you get some icicle buildup. Snow came down about a week ago, and we've been below freezing pretty much that whole time. Okay. So we're at the first waterfall. I am not going to go down over on top of the waterfall because I don't want to fall. Just a little bit of a picture here. Can't really see a whole lot because it's just covered in ice and snow at the moment. But I was told the trail to take is to go over onto the neighbor's property to get around this waterfall. So here's the other waterfall. Big one, like I said, this one's probably about 10-12 feet. It does dry up in the summer, but most of the year it's flowing. Be just a light trickle sometimes. This is where spikes on the boots would be nice. But no. Yep, that's a little slick, but that's okay. Well, with that, I think we'll be done with the video. Thanks for taking a hike with me.